Hello guys, this is Ayşen from Ayşen Codes. Let's continue with our second topic from our Introduction to Economics playlist. So this is our chapter 2 from our Introduction to Economics playlist. So we have discussed what is rationality. Rationality is when someone does their decision according to pros and cons of that decision. So in brief, that decision and how that decision is going to affect their life, if it's going to affect their life, or if we can say that pros outweigh the cons, then we decide to do that, which means that it is a rational choice. But if it means that cons outweigh the pros, then it's not a rational choice, it's an irrational choice. So we shouldn't do that. Okay, so with rationality in consumption, rationality in consumption is when a rational consumer, a consumer who can think about the pros and cons of a thing, of their decision, chooses what they like the most according to their income and prices of the product. So what does it mean? For example, me as a consumer, I really liked a shoe that a pair of shoes that I saw at a store, for example. And those shoes are really pretty and they're like really expensive. They're like brand new. They're like very high quality, luxurious piece of brand. And then this is the pros side. And I think about if I wear these shoes, oh, I will be assumed to be at a higher status, like my friends will be jealous or these kind of things. But cons is that, oh, but my income isn't enough to buy these shoes, or the price of these shoes are really high for me to buy. So what does the consumer does is that they outweigh pros and cons and they try to balance out and make a decision accordingly. So what is an indifference curve? Indifference curve shows different combinations of goods that make the consumer equally happy. For example, if I buy like, for example, 3 apples and 1 banana, and I buy like 2 bananas and 2 apples, they equally make me the same as happy as I was before. So what is budget line? Budget line is all of the combinations of two goods that you can afford with your income. So what is the equation for that? Let's write it in brief. So price of good X. So price of X times quantity of good X. Quantity X plus price of good Y. Price of Y times quantity of good Y. Quantity of Y, which is equal to income. So this is our formula in order to find on our budget line. Let us show what is a budget line, because it's better to see it. It's better to display. It's better to see in visuals. But this is our budget line. This is the maximum point where I choose the most of Y, where my income, for example, let's suppose my income is £100. And let's say that for the price of Y, like price of the product Y, is, let's say, £4. So maximum amount of the product Y I can buy is 25. So this is 25, for example. And let's suppose that this is X. This is the maximum point of, this is the point where I can buy most of, like, all of the X with my income, the most of the X with my income. So if my income is £100 and my price for X, for example, is like £5, then I can buy like 20. Quantity will be quantity I can buy with my product for product X is 20. This is quantity for Y. This is the example I've given. Let's example income $100. Suppose that price X is $4. Price of X $4 and price of Y is $5. And according to our equation here, where income is given, price of X and price of Y are given, we find using the equation the quantity. So let us evaluate what does points in, out, or on the budget line mean. So if a point is inside the budget line, it means the consumer can afford points of consumption below the budget line, but she will not be using her income efficiently to fully satisfy her or his desire. So what does that mean? It means like, for example, I have like £100, but I use only £70 of it. I don't use all of it. Maybe I save, maybe I invest the rest of the money, but I don't use all of it. Above the budget line is where we cannot afford points of consumption. It is when, for example, I have £100, but it is the point where I have to buy, for example, with £120. So I have to have extra £20 to be able to afford this point. And this point is the point of consumption. Point of consumption is that it's on the budget line, and it means that the consumer has spent all of their income. These lines are called lines of equal preferences. So these are actually indifference curves. The straight line is budget line. Budget line is everything we can afford with our income, whereas indifference curves are different bundles that make us equally happy. So these are the points, for example, at these points where indifference curve and our budget line crosses is the curve that has the highest possible happiness. Why is that? That point gives us the best bundle we can afford. Any point above it is unaffordable, and any point below gives less happiness. The further from the origin means the higher utility. So if, for example, if difference curve is like this or this, our budget line is further from further from the origin, which is here, it is better because it means that we have more income and we can afford more. One of the important questions is that indifference curves are always decreasing. Why is that? To keep the same level of happiness, if you get more of one good, you must give some of the other, because we have a limited resources, which is our income. We have limited amount of money. So in order to be able to afford one a bit more, we have to give up other one a bit less. So this is the optimal bundle where budget line and indifference curves cross. In order to find this, we have an equation where marginal utility of x divided by price of x is equal to marginal utility of y divided by price of y. So according to how we learned that, let's find the marginal utilities of x and y. Yes, in order to find these, we have to do partial differentiation. So in order to find the marginal utility of x, we need to use partial differentiation of x. The x, oops, du over dx, which is, we only need to take account of x and differentiate accordingly. So, but since this is a product rule, we need to do it like this. For example, let's delete these. Since our utility x, or I don't have to write this, let's suppose this is u, and let's suppose this is v. So our product rule is sorry. Sorry, I confused it. Sorry, it doesn't need it. Apologies, I'm starting again. Okay, so we have to do, let me read the question again. Find the marginal utility of x and y. So what does it mean? We have to find the marginal utility of x using partial differentiation. So partial differentiation of u according to x is, how do we do differentiation? First, we take the power about the x and put it before it. Then from this, we subtract 1. So it is 0 0.5 minus 1, which is minus 0 0.5. And since this is according to x, y does not change. So y stays as it is. And the marginal utility of y. To find the marginal utility of y, we need to use partial differentiation of u according to y divided by y. Okay. So we need to, where is the eraser? Okay. We need to use partial differentiation according to y. So this is 0 0.5 x power to 5, 0, 5, y minus 0 0.5. So this is our marginalities of x and y. Let's look at our second question. Use the utility maximization condition to find the relationship between x and y. Okay, let's continue with this question. So this equal to, actually this is equal to this equation, like marginal utility of x, and this equals to this one. All we have to do is, what were the prices? Price of x is 4 and price of y is 2. Okay, so 0 0.5 x power to 0 0.5 y power to 0 0.5 divided by price of x, which is 4, equals to 0 0.5 x power to 0 0.5 y minus 0.5, which is the price of y equals to 2, so divided by 2. If we continue, sorry. If we continue the equation, let me go through. I can see from here, okay. We multiply by 2, which is x minus 0.5, y 0.5 equals to 2x 0.5 y minus 0.5. So we need to find this according to x and y. So in order to find this, first find it according to x, for example, x equals to, we take it this here and divide. Oh, sorry, I did a mistake here. We first take this here. Oh, let me just start over. Okay, so how do we do this? Oh. Okay, so let's divide this, for example, according to x power to 0.5, just to simplify it and see what happens. If we, so division is here actually subtraction when the bases are the same. So 0.5 minus means 0.5. So this is actually -1. Here it is -1. So here is x is -1, y is 0.5. Then if you want to rewrite it, we can rewrite it as like this. Square root of y divided by x, which is equal to 2 divided by square root of y. And here it is y equals to 2x. So we found the x's relationship within y. Now we need to find the y's relationship with x. So in order to find this, let's delete all of these. Okay. So this is our answer for y. So let me underline it. Okay, in order to find, y's relationship with x, let's divide it with y power to 0.5. Y power to 0.5. So it is y divided by square root of x equals to 2 square root of x divided by y. So it is y square divided by 2x, which is y is equal to root 2x. I missed it here. It is, no. Just redo it. So this is the equation. Y is equal to 2x. And in order to find the optimal bundle, we need to use the budget line. So our budget line equation is oops, when price of x and quantity of x is multiplied plus price of y and quantity of y is multiplied equals to income. So let us put the values here. What do we have? Price of x, 4, qx plus price of y, 2, qy equals to income, 80. This is what we have. And this is 4x plus 2y equals to 80. We substitute our equation here. So here it is 4x plus 2 multiplied by 2y, 2x equals to 80. So it is 8x equals to 80. X is equal to 10. If we substitute our value in our most basic equation, y is equal to 2 multiplied by 10, which is 20. So our optimal bundle is 10 is x and y is 20. Well, that was the all for this topic. I hope it was helpful. I know there was like most of the pauses or like confused. I was confused most of the time, but it's my first time also teaching. So I hope I could be beneficial. I will try my best to improve my my ability to tell topics. Well, I hope to see you in my journey of becoming better and improve my channel and improve my ability to tell the topics. Thank you. Bye bye.